Attack! Okay, what I have here is a spear. They're commonly used right through the centuries when even gunfire becomes effective. This is a poor man's weapon, but I'm carrying a spear that's 2,000 years old, and I'm playing a 5th century character we called the Picts, the painted ones. Spears were cost effective, they were not expensive to use, just a piece of wood with a bit of cast iron on the end. Even some weapons that didn't have iron on the end were just sharpened as wood. This can become very deadly in battle formation. It can also become very deadly if the wood cuts your skin. It can cause dysentery or infections in your bloodstream. So this is the spear. It's one of my favourite weapons. Julius Caesar, which wasn't an emperor, he was a dictator. His cavalry weren't Roman, they were Germanic. And the Germanic horsemen were sitting on, stop checking the eye, sorry about that. They were using spears like this on a horse. Bring it back like that. Very effective, the spear. Stay there. Attack! Not my personal favourite weapon, but it's a weapon everyone knows is Scottish to use, which is called the Claymore. It's a 1520, 16th century Germanic bladed weapon. When I say Germanic bladed, it means that we've got the steel from Germany, we've swapped the wool for it. Now it's 1520, so Wallace was dead by at least 200 years. This is used as anti-cavalry, it's used to cut heads of the spears, it's also a ceremonial weapon, and it's handed from father to son and so forth. But once gunfire becomes effective, as history progresses, these become out of date. But it can also be used before gunfire. It's used like that to pierce, and use it like this to slice. Personally, not my favourite, but everyone loves the Claymore. So we have the Claymore here. Now, my favourite weapon is very similar to a gladius weapon, this small broadsword. Broadsword means a two-edged weapon. This is a 14th century weapon. Sound effects come from my ring. In fact, the first man to be named in the north of Britain by the Romans was called Calcacus, which means the swordsman. So this here is one of my favourites. As I say, the sound effects from the ring. But again, sword. Sword is a status, like the Claymore that I just showed you, it's a status. Most men would have used spears, and throughout history, poor men, some men didn't have shoes, so spears, clubs were more effective. Well, yeah, effective they were, but more cost effective as well. These were used by men that could afford to have them. The broadsword. Now, oh, there we go, stop it. Two-headed axe, looks very Viking. It could be between Germanic and Viking. If you've got enough money to have two pieces of iron, you have a two-headed axe. Looks impressive. A short weapon. The Vikings used short ones. They also used the denotes, which were the larger ones. But this can also come forward to you and break down your shield. You can pull the shield down and poke this into the front of your neck with this. So just say the camera bit is your shield. When the axe comes over, I grab onto your shield, pull it down and pierce it in here. But yet again, it's like the Claymore at the time. This is expensive, it's also a status, so not many men would have the two-headed axe. All right? Now, this one here is called a club. I call it the modern trench club. Wood is commonly used, as I've said in the conversation earlier, it is cost effective, plenty of wood around, so a piece of wood and crush your skull, it's going to kill you or cause internal damage. This has got iron spikes on it, and they were still used in the First World War by British and German forces. Now you're looking at me and you're thinking I'm William Wallace, and I'm not. I'm actually a Pictish king from the 4th century. There was very few, if any, kings at all. They were in fact chieftains. But the blue in my face comes from plant and the white's from the rock line. The first described Picts in the north of Britannia was in CA to CE, the Battle of Mons Crapus by General Acrylica in his 9th Legion. Going back before that, in 55 BC, we have the Roman start for Roman invasion, but didn't last very long. 55 BC by Julius Caesar. That was it. So try to get all my information there.
Well, thank you.